Great game on Saturday. Honestly, I don't have a ton of notes. If you took out that long pass play by Rutgers when there was a messed up coverage for Michigan, honestly, they did a pretty fantastic job. Sure, maybe the defense didn't come up with any sacks. They had tackles for loss, though. They held Rutgers within their lowest rushing yards per game. They had their second lowest passing yards per game. They took care of the ball. Sandra still had a fantastic touchdown return off of an interception. JJ had a good day, smart running, good decision making, was over 70% for his completion percentage, got a touchdown to a new receiver, Samaj Morgan, his first touchdown as a Michigan Wolverine. There was a missed field goal by Turner. Quick note on that one. I was trying to defend him on Saturday, but then I forgot. And thanks and shout out to Drew for reminding me that Turner is actually a transfer kicker. So this is not his first season on the field for game day or being the starting kicker. So he has experience. He's not going to be Jake Moody, but he should still be pretty reliable with having been a starting place kicker in the past. Yeah, there were a couple long pass plays that were allowed, but really with how good those passes were thrown, there's not too much defensively that you could have done. And again, really outside of that broken play that Rutgers capitalized on, they didn't put up any additional points. I believe we are looking at a clear picture of what Michigan football will be in 2023. We've already talked about it for the past few weeks. It's slow, methodical football. I mean, when I'm wrong, and I'll admit it. I had both Michigan and Rutgers scoring way more points. I predicted 48-20. We had a final score of 31-7. So that being said, the Michigan defense, I feel, is back. Well, you saw the first 3 weeks against lesser opponents made me question on if they were going to be as dominant as they were for the past couple seasons. But how they played against Rutgers on Saturday was a fantastic picture of what they're capable of doing. So I'm fairly confident in them moving forward. This Michigan defense is actually the number one scoring defense in the conference and nationally, only allowing an average of 5.8 points per game. They're also number 3 in total defense, just allowing 231 average yards per game. They're number 7th in passing defense, allowing only 151 yards per game. While in rushing defense, they fall back to 13, allowing an average of 80 yards per game. This defense is pretty darn good. Now, say what you will, 4 weeks in and playing the non-conference opponents that they had, Rutgers was a decent opponent. So seeing those numbers after Saturday's game is still a great sign for the season. There will be plenty of tests coming up to be able to gauge Michigan better, but after the Bowling Green experience and the first 2 weeks with nothing super flashy that screamed college football playoff team, it was great to see this performance against a team like Rutgers before Michigan goes on the road for their first road game of the season. So really not a lot of notes. Congratulations to Samaj Morgan for his first career touchdown as a Michigan Wolverine. While I do believe that the team kind of pulled together and rebounded after the Bowling Green game, I really have to say I think that there was a lot to do with it with having Harbaugh back on the sidelines. He has a bigger impact on game day being on the sidelines than I kind of imagined. He is their head coach, and as much as he loves football, he loves his football team. And so he seemed super excited on the sidelines. And after the game, the videos that came out of the locker room, they just seemed more excited than ever to be moving forward to next week's game. And they're riding high. I think that they've regrouped themselves and that they're better focused now. So I'm very excited to see how this continues in the coming weeks. Of course, we're going to have our preview episode coming up talking about Nebraska here soon. I hope you all have an awesome week. And as always, go blue.